All right, guys, good morning. Good morning. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of GAR Capital. It is April 20th. Happy 420 on a Thursday. Year's 2023. Thanks again for joining me this morning and every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Before we begin, make sure to hit the like, subscribe, or share button. We're trying to get more subs, so I appreciate it as always. Thank you guys again for joining me every day. Listening to me speak about the markets. Love doing it. It's kind of like a teaching session every morning. All right, let's go ahead and get around the horn. Dow futures down 168 points. Very similar price action to yesterday when we were down. NASDAQ down about 0.87%. Again, we know the reason why. That is Tesla. We'll go ahead and chart it together. S&P 500 down about 0.69% at 4149. We'll chart that together, that 4150 level. The Russell 1794 down about 0.86%. That's small caps. Crude oil is down 1.62%. Could we be getting that gap fill on crude? We'll keep an eye on that. $2.58 for gasoline futures down about 2.18%. 2017 for gold futures, thank you dollar, down about 0.20%, 101.76. 10-year treasury yields 3.549%. Silver futures are up about a quarter point, 25.43. And the VIX 1744, up about 6% this morning. Copper is down with the S&P, down about 0.61%, $4.05. Euro dollar 109.74, up 19 pips. 134.32 for the dollar yen. That's down about 36 pips as the dollar is weaker across the board. Pound dollar up 16 pips. Bitcoin, even though the dollar's down, Bitcoin is not up. It is down, bouncing a little bit. 28,895 seems to be that 30,000 level. That'll kind of be our new floor from now on. We'll be keeping an eye on 30,000. Once we recapture that, again, that'll be our new support, and then we could see what we could do from there. 1972 for Ethereum futures. For that'll be 2,000. That'll be our support. Let's see if we get it back above it. And if we do, we can go ahead and hit Mara again. We can hit Riot. We can hit Coinbase and see what we get from there. But we need the dollar to go down. All right, so that's where we are this morning. Let's go ahead and chart Tesla together. We had earnings yesterday. That is on posted on Instagram and on Twitter yesterday. Remember, we have this gap to fill from the daily, 146.54. So you're probably thinking to yourself, Carlos, man, are we ready to short here? Are we excited to short? And again, you just have to be careful with this name Tesla. So let's go ahead and wait for confirmation before we short. And again, I want to short it. 162.91. I will target the 150 calls depending on the price. Again, for next week, we're going to just keep an eye on it. If we break 162.91, I'm going to keep an eye on 146 level. We could probably do the 145 calls, be a little cheaper. Let's go to the daily chart and keep an eye. And again, this is showing here. Oh, that's the, I've got to look at the hourly. Was it the hourly candle or the hourly? Was it the weekly? What was that gap? Here you go. The gap is on the, okay, so this gap is on the 4 hour. Sorry about that. There's your gap there. But again, it's weird. I don't know why it's not showing here on the daily. Let me make sure that we have that gap. There we go. I wasn't looking at it. Here we go. This is the daily gap, 146.54. We're trading at 164.45. We want to get an alert below 163. If that does happen, again, we're keeping an eye on the 145 to 150 put strike on Tesla. So again, let's see if we get that continuation down. Maybe the VIX spikes up a little bit more, and then we can go ahead and fade this name. We are still kind of stuck in this range between 163 and around 210. So again, we need to break down from the range so we can go ahead and short, and at least just to play the gap fill at 146, and then that might not be a bad place to go ahead and maybe add some shares of Tesla if you're expecting a little more. That would be January's lows. So that's going to be on my list today. Still have some Apple calls running, so let's go over our position here, or exactly what we're looking at. All right, so I brought up the 4-hour chart on Apple. Again, this trend line is from the daily. We're pretty much just retesting the 20 moving average on the 4-hour chart. I have the 170s for this week. It feels like a Friday, but it's really a Thursday, so we do have time. And then I'm looking at a break of 168 or above. I went ahead and filled the Apple 170 calls for next week personally. I did not want to add more risk to the team, so I kept those personally. I have a small position on the 170s for next week. So again, I do have some time there. I still think we're going to get there. But again, Apple has been pretty resilient, pretty much stuck in this upward channel so far. Nothing has really broken. And you can see it is a breakout on the 4-hour chart. Again, if you zoom in to just this here. So it did break out here, 168.12. We had a breakout on the 1 hour. But again, just really choppy flow right now in the market. It's just been choppy all across the board. If we bring up the daily, we are nearing some resistance, but we don't have any resistance until the gap fill at 171.23, which is my target. So that's what I'm looking for in Apple. Let's go and take a look at the NASDAQ futures and see how choppy this has been really all month, guys. 13.3, we'll call it 13.350 to right around 12.9. So about a 400 handle back and forth move. The good news is that here's where we are in terms of the chop movement. But what's good is that you can trade individual names. So the indices haven't been the best to trade, but again, the individual names, the tech names, some banks, airlines, they have been doing pretty well. So we're going to keep an eye on just individual names in terms of futures. I haven't had a chance to really trade anything because it's just been so choppy. All I got was a flat stop on ES. The next trade I had open was DraftKings, and DraftKings is for next week. We do have a small gap to fill in the hourly around 21.05. Very nice chart. And here's what I posted on Twitter. And you could see that yellow line has been resistance right around 21.5. Right now, about 20 cents away from that. Once that breaks, you're talking about a target here of around 23.85. I may want to go ahead and see if I can add some more. Maybe go to the 24 calls and ride this wave a little higher. Again, keep the stops a little tighter in terms of, again, not stops tighter, but again, position a little tighter. We did double dip on Mara. I think DraftKings might be a double dip candidate as well. So it's kind of setting up for a nice short squeeze. Again, if we get continuation, there is a gap to fill here right around 1966. So there is some risk there. You could see it here. Let's see the small little gap here at 1966. We'll place an alert there and see what we get on DraftKings. But other than that, we did close Boeing yesterday, so that was a nice gain. What else did we have here? This is the week so far. Well, DraftKings is not ready yet, but we caught Boeing yesterday. So far this week, JPM, AMD, Boeing, and we still have Apple and DraftKings. So just 3 this week. I expect us to get that Apple trade. If not tomorrow, we'll probably get it. If not tomorrow, maybe later on today. But we need a bounce in the markets to get that. So let's go to the S&P 500, and then I know we have a question here regarding Tesla's results, and we'll keep an eye on it. 41.46, you can see that dotted line. That's pretty much right around 41.50. That's been kind of that resistance level 1 so far. 4,200, again, we haven't tagged that yet. So again, we'll see if this is really the flush. Did we already jump the shark to 41.97? Is that the best in terms of resistance? Are we going to start breaking down? I'm going to place an alert here at 41.20. That is our 20-day moving average on the ES. So again, if we just chop around and we get into a seasonally soft or weaker May, then I start expecting us to start retesting right around 4,000 to 417. 4017, that's your 100-day moving average on the daily. But again, still holding around 41.50. Don't really want to touch anything short side or keep an eye on it. I would say 4100 breaks, that'll confirm it. But 4120 is your 20-day moving average. So that's what I'm keeping an eye on. What do you think about Tesla's earnings results? I think Elon Musk is a very shrewd businessman, and I don't think there was any incentive for him to give really A, good guidance, or B, really anything positive on their call. So you already have a very pessimistic market. We've already seen the equity flows really deteriorate. More money is going to money market funds. We know how short everyone is. This is where companies really want to downplay the quarter and eat it so they can have a lower forecast and then beat in the third and fourth quarter. Nike is notorious for this. Apple is notorious for this, where they don't even give guidance. So I'm taking the Tesla earnings call, this one, with a grain of salt, since it's such a bad sentiment out there that there really isn't any benefit for him to give really positive news, because the market seems, I guess, in his point of view and Tesla's point of view, is that it wouldn't matter anyways. And the stock is up so much this year to date. Let's go ahead and take a look at where it is year to date. Tesla year to date, let me get that. And even with this flush, let's see where we are. Let's see. And again, the market's not closed. Tesla is trading now at, let's see where Tesla is. Tesla's at 164.72. It was up 46.6%. It started at 123.18 this year, so we'll do the math ourselves. 123.18, we're trading at what, 164.71? Yeah, you're still up about 33% year to date on Tesla, even with this flush. So again, I think this is absolutely normal. I think Elon is very shrewd for doing this. Again, keep the expectations low, man. There's no need to say that everything's good. Again, they have been slashing prices, which I think is actually a good thing. The problem is that now the multiple is getting away. All you're getting is multiple expansion. So again, if you get lower prices, again, that's lower margins. That makes sense. Again, that's, to me, that's gap fill talk. That's all we're gonna get. We're gonna get that gap fill, and I think that's probably a great place to go ahead and maybe add to your position on Tesla. That's right around 146.54. But again, I'm not too pessimistic on Tesla in terms of the long term. But again, it just got ahead of itself in terms of the market. I mean, look how much it grew in February, March, and I don't think Tesla's going to grow 80% in a year, year to date. They're growing, yes, but again, they are a mega cap stock now. Their market cap is so big now that you're not going to get those really, really big moves. Even if we close where we are right now, year to date, for Tesla, again, 33% year to date is pretty good. Pretty good. That's not terrible. So again, let's see if we get that gap fill. I think we can trade around Tesla, maybe throw in a little bit at 146.54. Again, just playing technicals, and then you can see if you get a bounce there. But in terms of the daily, we are sliding. We rejected the 20-day, and now we're going to be breaking the 100-day. So pretty ugly, and I think that we get a continuation if we break 160.291. For all we know, we bounce here, just like we got on the S&P yesterday, where we had that early morning flush, and then we had a nice bounce. You could see it on Wednesday, and then just pretty much 5 straight hourly candles into green. If we did that measure move from 41.81 to 53, that's a $30 point move. You'll probably get to around today at the highs 41.77 to 41.80. That's the expectation, again, if we have this analog. But again, in terms of shorting the market, 41.20 we'll talk, but we're not there yet. We're just not. And it's just a very trader-centric, choppy market where the market is looking for someone to cling to. I'm very surprised that the NASDAQ is not down more, even though Tesla's taking a bath today, and Tesla's being such a big part of Qs. But that's where we are in this market. And let's go over some pre-market movers. What's moving, what's not moving. This morning, Apple down about 0.95%, Tesla down 8.74%. That's bringing down Ford, that's bringing down GM. They're down about 3% each. DR Horton actually had a really great call, but down 3.39%. AT&T down about 4.87%. That's bringing Verizon down. Meta's down this morning, down about 1.13%. I think there was talks about more layoffs. And Google down about 0.29% today. Some of the banks, JPM down 0.64%. I got out of those runners, the 140 calls. They're still in the money. AXP reported earnings. They're down about 2% this morning as well. So the only thing that was green in terms of their earnings in the S&P 500 that I see is really IBM. IBM gained about 1.65%. Netflix continuing to slide a little bit, down about 1.27% this morning. So what I'm getting here is that I'm starting to see maybe we did jump the shark, that 41.90. Maybe that was the top, and at least for now. And then we just have to short it from here, which is fine. That's kind of been the plan. That's what we've been waiting for. But again, we're just not there yet. And I think Tesla may be a nice short to that gap fill, but we'll keep an eye on it. Good morning, Carlos. Hopefully you're ready for Man United game tonight. Right, Europa League. That's right. Real Madrid took care of business against Chelsea. Bayern Munich got smoked by City. I'm still waiting for an F1 race. My God, F1 finally coming back soon. And NBA basketball was pretty good last night. I watched a little bit of it. Watched a little bit of the Lakers-Grizzlies game. But Europa, go Manchester United. Let's see what we get. But other than that, guys, that's where we are. Again, I wish I can give you better news, but we're just chopping around. We might be getting to the point where the VIX starts spiking a little bit. Remember, we started talking about VIX. Buy the insurance when you can, not when you need to. Bouncing a little bit here. Did we hit the top at 41.98 on the 18th? Possibly. But we're going to keep an eye on the price action, and they'll tell us where we need to go. If we need to go short, we will go short. And if we need to go long, then we will too. Whatever works. I work for DHL, and we sponsor MU. And if you know if you ever need tickets, damn. Yeah, man, shoot me a message. I would love that. No tickets, man. Just to see some cool photos from the F1 tracks would be great. Appreciate that. Thank you, Zoom Balloon. And everyone else, have a great rest of your Thursday. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow for the next morning note. I appreciate you guys following me every day. and enjoying these videos. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.